In this series, we're discussing a number of topics to do with asbestos surveying, and one subject that I think is worth talking about is the slightly contentious one of judging the quality of a survey. There are several systems out there that people use to accredit surveys to make sure they're carried out properly, but that's not quite what we're talking about here. How does the user know the survey's been done properly? How do they have confidence in what they're reading? It's all very well mentioning UCAS or whoever accredits your surveys, but does that mean anything to the end user? Our view is that it's down to how the information is presented that makes the biggest difference. And to illustrate this, let's have a look at 3 examples in an online management system. In this first example, we're looking at the record for a room, and in this room there is a single piece of asbestos recorded. If we drop into that record, we can see, yes, it's been recorded as it should be, but even this thumbnail gives us an idea that there's quite a lot going on in this room. Why isn't that mentioned? Is it because the surveyor has missed something, or is it because the rest of what's in that room is free of asbestos? This survey is giving us very little feel for what's going on, and as a result, I'm not feeling terribly confident as somebody reading the register that the job has been done correctly. In the example of this room, we can see that at least somebody has said this location record applies to all areas. We could perhaps see a little more information than that, and if we drop into the record, we can actually see that somebody has completed a fairly thorough survey of the room, but the record has been dumped in a single block of text in the comments field. Yes, it's all there, but I've got to go looking for it. It's not exactly jumping out at me. There are side issues to do with it can be very difficult to put this into a printed report neatly, and it also makes updating the system quite tricky. In this example, we see how we think it should be done. Each survey location has its own record, and the material of construction is recorded as well. So without going any further, I'm getting a pretty good feel for how this survey's been carried out. I'm getting a good feel that it's an honest appraisal of what's happening in this room. There's very little difference between this survey and the previous survey. It's just that this one has been recorded in a far better way. On top of that, it's much easier to take this information out and drop it into a report, and it's much easier to update the system. So the lesson from this is look at what your surveyors, be they contractor or in-house, are collecting and how it's presented, because that can make a major difference to how end users perceive the quality of the survey. They take a very different view of it if they can get to the information quickly. They don't have to guess or dig around for the information that they need. And don't forget that this applies to both online management systems and printed reports, so it doesn't matter how your management system operates. Also, don't forget that if you record the information right in the first place, it's very much easier to keep your register up to date, which is something we'll cover in another video. Until then, take a look at some of our other videos in this series.